me at the border, I got visas in my name. If you come around here, I'll make 'em all day. I get one down in a second if you wait. I fly like paper, get high like planes. If you catch me at the border, I got visas in my name. If you come around here, I'll make 'em all day. I get one down in a second if you wait.
As the second fastest growing economy in the world, the outlook for families in India is improving. With an improved economy, more and more citizens are becoming middle class and the income gap is shrinking. However, there's still a large gap between income literacy and training in different regions, and a lack of effective social infrastructure makes it hard for all families to thrive in this economy. Food security is a problem for many families, as about half of all expenses go towards eating. This fact, combined with fluctuating food prices and a growing population, can be harmful on the prosperity of a family and the growth, nourishment, and development of children. As a result of this insecurity, malnourishment is common and about a fifth of all Indian children are emaciated. One of the biggest obstacles families in India face is poverty, as approximately 37% of the country is below the poverty line. This means that food, housing, and access to basic necessities like clean drinking water and sanitation can be a challenge for many families. Indian children will often have to forego their education to help make up the family's income.
According to the 2009 Right to Education Act, schooling is free and compulsory for all children from the ages of 6 to 14. However, improvements are slow being implemented, and disadvantaged groups may still not have adequate access to education. Of high value is placed on education, as it ensures a stable future. All parents want their children to attend the best English schools to ensure a good future for their children. The education system is made up of preschool, then kindergarten, primary school, middle school, secondary school, higher secondary or pre-university, undergraduate, and postgraduate. There are 3 types of schools: public schools, private schools, and national open schools that provide education to children whose schooling has been interrupted and have unable to complete formal education. The number of out-of-school children has declined from 25 million in 2003 to 8.1 million in mid-2009, and girls are less likely to enroll in school than boys. Children have the right to have at least one qualified and trained teacher for every 30 pupils. Currently, the national average is about 1 teacher to every 34 students. Approximately 1.2 million additional teachers need to be recruited to fill this gap. 84 out of 100 schools have drinking water facilities overall in India. 65 out of 100 schools have common toilets in India, and 54 out of 100 schools have separate toilets for girls. Families and communities have a large role to play to ensure child-friendly education for each and every one of the estimated 190 million girls and boys in India who should be in elementary school today. School management committees made up of parents, local authorities, teachers, and children themselves will need support to form school development plans and monitoring. The inclusion of 50% women and parents of children from disadvantaged groups in these communities should help overcome past.
Employment. India's working class is young and also growing, with a steady population increase. It has more high-paying jobs for the youth. It needs to move up in technology, productivity, and management. If they expand education and employment opportunities for women, it can be very fruitful in the long run. Thousands leave their tribes and coastal fishing towns to seek work in customer service. Many return with actually more debt. They can make up to about $2 an hour or $5,000 a year. This can affect families by causing them to have low income and possibly go into poverty, having to leave their homes and separate from their family to try and find income elsewhere, and this can put a strain on the family ties.
Human rights in India are complex, with many citizens not having access to things the United Nations deems as basic human rights, like food, education, healthcare, sanitation, dignity, and clean drinking water. Women, children, and the impoverished face the most human rights violations, with many holding on to the view that children's education does not need to be mandatory if they have to work reproductive and natal care is inadequate for many families, especially impoverished ones. This can be a detriment to families as improper health and sometimes death of a family member can further impair the functioning of the family.
Technology, community involvement, and resources help health care treat patients better and cost less money. 1976, an Indian surgeon resolved to make eye surgery affordable for even the poorest Indians. Patients only had to pay what they could afford, and if they could not afford, they did not have to pay. This was called pay what you can medicine. Roughly 1/3 pay nothing at all, and about half of the patients pay in full. It now expands into 5 clinics with 1,000 beds in each. This form of healthcare can actually be positive for families that are able to use this. It can take a very large stress off of a family. It can help their entire family be healthier and have a happier life.
From birth, females in India are considered a burden. As a female is raised in India, she is taught to perform house duties and practice socialization skills to prepare her to be wed one day. Marriage is still arranged in India by parents and the extended family members. After the woman is married, she then moves in with her new husband's family. In most of these families, the mother-in-law dominates over the wife. Other than household decisions, women do not have any say in any other decisions that would commonly be made by a man and wife within a Canadian society. Although over the last few decades, the housewife norm has changed with more women having careers. Women's rights are changing for the better in India. With more dual-career families, the outlook for family strengths will increase with not as much stress put upon the wife from the mother-in-law. The woman will have her own ability to make decisions for her family that involve her career. This will help bond the intermediate family and support them financially. Child care centers are some institutions that are trying to meet the growing needs of dual-earning families. Working women prefer to leave the responsibility of their children with their extended family. Due to mothers not being able to spend as much time with their children can cause them problems when disciplining them. Children raised this way have fewer years of schooling and more likely to drop out of school. Since the majority of families keep child care within their extended family, the bonds between the child and family will grow. A negative aspect of in-family child care is that a child will not be able to socialize with other children of his or her own age group.
India has 4 main religions: Buddhism, Hinduism, Jainism, and Sikhism. Common to all 4 is the belief in reincarnation, or samsara, the idea that life is a cycle of birth, life, and rebirth, and karma, or the idea that the actions and thoughts during a past life can affect future lives. Reincarnation can be broken by following the teachings of each religion. Buddhism has no deity apart from Buddha as a spiritual being. Their belief is that there is no permanent self and that suffering is a result of desiring that which is impermanent, or things of the material world. They believe in dukkha, to exist is to suffer; samudaya, suffering is caused by desire, the cravings for pleasure and possessions; nirodha, and that detachment from desire will end suffering; and magga, there is a way to achieve detachment. The way varies between Buddhist divisions, but the central theme is meditation to achieve enlightenment or nirvana. Hinduism is the main religion in India, with 80% of all Indians being Hindi. Jainism has approximately 4 million followers, and the central theme is non-violence, and that idea has influenced other religions. Jains see the world as a place of misery and suffering, and most become monks or nuns as a way of achieving moksha, or personal liberation from the cycle of reincarnation. They believe in 3 principles, or ratnas, which are right faith, right knowledge, and right action. These encourage the individual to become a better person and live at peace with their environment. They are also required to practice 5 principles: non-violence, truthfulness, no stealing, celibacy, and no possessiveness. Sikhism has approximately 16.5 million followers, and they believe in God, the immortal creator. They believe in living a good and contemplated lifestyle to achieve unity with God. They also believe in reincarnation. It is the youngest religion and the 5th largest in the world. They believe a life of value is a life working and earning by the sweat of the brow, practicing truthfulness and honesty, and they believe in sharing the fruits of one's labor before considering yourself. Sikhism also plays a huge part in women's rights. Children are named to avoid all discrimination based on family name. Females are named with the last name Kaur, and males are named with the last name Singh. They've also gotten rid of the dowry system and the caste system and things that are derogatory to women. The first name of the children is taken from the first letter of the top left corner of the left page of the Sikh holy book, whichever page is opened at random. Women have equal rights and are given the same amount of respect. A woman is considered the other half of the man. Religion is described as the spiritual glue as well as the lubricant that holds together families and individuals and eases the frictions of family life. As families spend a lot of time together during religious activities, this increases the strength of their family bond. The unity in religion creates unity in family life as well. Often religious activities are not considered complete if both husband and wife are not involved. Many Indian families found that their religion helps them overcome conflict, and as such, the Indians often have happy marriages. Indians also believe God resides within you and everyone else, and their religion urges them to become a more balanced person or of a controlled mind, emotions, and senses.